Here it is, son.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, honey.
And you see.
Wyoming and Patriots. I would like to introduce Representative Scott Clem.
Welcome, everybody. Ooh, that's loud. There we go. Well, we got a good crowd here. I think at least 300 people, and they're still coming in, so this is a wonderful thing. We're here all because we love our freedoms, because we recognize we have a tyrant in that building. That's right. I thought a lot about what to say today, and I'll probably be speaking throughout the day. I've invited many people to speak. We're going to speak on different subjects. Speak on Wyoming, and this is what today is all about. Our land right now is being threatened. Our constitutional rights are being threatened. We are not subjects of the government. You are citizens.
Yep.
You are the ones who are entrusted with expansive freedoms, not government. And your constitutional rights are not negotiable. This governor does not understand this.
Yep.
I chuckle a little bit because, of course, we went out this last week and we promoted this event. We said, hey, we're having this rally on Monday because it's been the governor's MO to come out with these extensions of these health orders on Tuesday or a Wednesday. And lo and behold, the governor this weekend came out on a Saturday, a month of silence, and he comes out on a Saturday, a little email extending all of these orders. What a crap. That's a coward's way to do things. That's right. That's right. You're right. He is a rhino. Anybody who would threaten your constitutional rights is not worthy of that office. I'm not pulling any punches today. I'm not mincing words.
Man.
This is not right. And we're all gathered together to say enough.
Yes.
Enough. This is not correct. Listen, folks, no one can govern unless you have the consent of the governed. And it's clear today that we do not give consent. We don't. People all across Wyoming are saying enough. I think it's hilarious. You know, I've asked our county commissioners in Campbell County, by the way, as far as these government mandates, these dictates, by the way, they're unconstitutional and they're unlawful. Only the legislature can create law. It's the only way to do it. Our Constitution guarantees that your representatives in the legislatures, they have to pass a bill, there has to be public input, all of these different things, and then something is signed into law, and then the executive can enforce that law. But the governor cannot make law by fiat, which is exactly what he's done. And even in those cases where the legislature grants him the authority to create rules, there's something called the Administrative Procedures Act. It requires public notice, it requires public input, it requires input from stakeholders, all of these things, and none of that has happened with these health orders. It's all unconstitutional, it's all unlawful. Yeah. So what do we want out of all of this? We got a massive crowd here. I'm really pleased by this. Just driving from Campbell County, we had a carload of people, and we're thinking, boy, what is this going to be like? I see my good friend over there, Troy McEwen. He's a new senator. He's one of the good ones. We got some other Scott Gray, he's going to be here as well. All these names, by the way, these are names of conservatives. These are names of people that you ought to support. These are people who actually believe in conservative ideals and principles and actually are Republicans. People think that Wyoming is such a Republican state. Boy, I tell you what. Who else we got? Hey, we got Clarence. There he is. Clarence is right here too. Another one of Laramie County's here. And there's probably some others that I'm missing here. And don't worry, we'll try to get you. My point is this: I'm not the only one who's standing up. I'm not the only one who's sick of this tyrant governor. And people from your own legislature are here too to stand with you to say this is not right and we're not going to have this.
Man.
I've encouraged people all across the state, even with these extended orders. Now this is what's kind of hilarious. I got going on these orders a little bit. So the governor, hey, there he is, got another rep here. Representative John Winters is here. He's got these orders that came out. We said all along, they're arbitrary and capricious. The governor came out with no science or no data at all. It said that these bars and restaurants, they had to close between, 8 and 10 o'clock at night to, I don't know, some 6 in the morning or something like that. Some kind of joke. I applaud, I think it was in, where was it at? Was it Cody or was it Powell? There was a bar up there that decided to call itself the Travel Center.
Yeah.
And it violated the governor's health order. That was great. There should be more of that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with civil disobedience, and that's alive and well today. You should be responsible for your own health. If you want to wear a mask, wear one. It's your own business. You see someone else wearing masks. That's great. But the government and the governor doesn't get to force you to choose to do something. It doesn't get to subvert your liberties and freedoms and tell you that you must do something on account of somebody else. That's tyranny. That's not freedom. So the governor, he went ahead and he nixed all those restrictions for bars and restaurants. Isn't that interesting? All this last week I was on media programs and I know others were on social media encouraging those people to sue the state. And we're going to have some lawsuits out of this. I'm fairly confident of that. And that's good because this state government needs to be sued. These things need to be fought in the court of law, but it also needs to be fought in the ground by the grassroots. Man, I can't tell you how pleased I am to see the crowd that's here. This is awesome. More and more people are showing up. I hope the governor takes notice inside. I hope he's nice and cozy in there, and I hope he hears these words. I hope he hears that we, the people, have had enough, and we will not obey. Listen, folks, it is never wrong to not obey an unlawful order. Amen. These are unlawful orders. I am encouraging civil disobedience. I am encouraging you not to wear a mask. Unless you're one of those high-risk people and you want to wear a mask for your own health, I'm all for that. But if you're one of those subcategories where this coronavirus is not a threat to you, in fact, for many cases, we should be, our school children and those who are healthy, who can get exposed to this, that increases the what do they call that? The herd immunity, which is what we need. I don't know why some people don't understand that. I don't know what happened with common sense. It's science. Hey, let me tell you something about science. Our country is not ruled by good intentions. It's not ruled by science. It's not ruled by any of those things. Our country is ruled by the rule of law. The rule of law. It's our Constitution. Listen, folks, the highest authority in our land is not the governor. It's not the legislature. It's not the President of the United States. And in fact, it's not actually even us. The highest authority in our land is the Constitution. We are ruled by the rule of law. Now, as the rule of law says that citizens are the ones guaranteed with expansive freedoms. That is true. But the highest authority is the Constitution, and our governor seems to ignore the Constitution of Wyoming. He seems to violate it at whim, and that's wrong. By the way, who's in charge in Wyoming? Is it the state health officer or is it the governor? It is the people. But no one seems to know. No one seems to know if it's the governor who's calling the shots or the state health officer. One is pointing at the other, and they're doing the vice versa. Where's the leadership in Wyoming? That's right. Where's the leadership in our state legislature? We've got a lot of people in our state legislature, but think about this, and believe me, folks, the leaders in the state legislature are the ones that are here.
Sorry.
The ones that are here.
My hotel room.
have a state legislature who's weak-kneed. They're not fighting on behalf of their constitutional duties. There's a separation of powers issue here in Wyoming, and it's being violated. And your legislature isn't standing up. No. It's not fighting on behalf of you. Those are your representatives. Those are the people who should be fighting for you. And they're not.
They're not. That's right. They don't represent us.
Hopefully they'll hear. We got a lot of media here. This is great. I don't know who they are, but I trust you. All I know is this. We're here to stand up for our freedoms, and we are going to civilly disobey. Because we're not going to follow a tyrant, and if he's going to act like a tyrant, again, you can only govern if you have the consent of the government. And I'm encouraging people all across Wyoming to civilly disobey. I'm asking you to be responsible. I'm asking you to